Well, we're ready to do the setup. But first, I'd like to cover the tripod. It's extremely important to get a tripod that is robust. And by robust, I mean something that will support 40, 50, 60 pounds, or even more. I've always recommended the 3051 Bogan, mainly because I know this will support my weight, and I'm pushing about 200 pounds. This guy isn't fully extended for filming purposes, but this will get elevated quite high, giving you a lot of reach with the jib. This guy has internal locks in the legs, which I really like. You can drop all legs at once or one at a time. It's important too that when you set this guy up to mount the jib, that the legs are about 36 inches apart minimum. And if you're working on a soft substrate, make sure you have some small plywood blocks that you can put under each stick, so it will maintain real stability on soft substrate. Again, I want to cover the fact that you want one of these legs under the front end of the jib when you assemble it. And the reason for that is that once you get, if you get a short 8-footer, and this is fully elevated, the jib will not hit the ground. But once you've got camera weight on it, if it were pointed that way, it would want to rock the tripod this way. With the jib over one of the legs, impossible to do that. So that's an important step too. Anyway, that about covers it, but make sure the tripod is substantial enough, like I said, to carry that kind of weight. I know there are equivalents to this, so you may want to investigate that. Anyway, we'll get started with the setup. First off is the operator section. And as we discussed in the bits and pieces segment, that the base plate is countersunk. And what this does is this helps you index that over that stud, and you merely give it a spin and you're on. Next is your mating block. And as discussed in the bits and pieces segment, there are corresponding numbers that are stamped in all three sections, the operator section, the camera section, and the mating block. This merely slides in like so, and it almost indexes itself. You'll put the fastener in, feel it kind of locate, and just finger tight right at the moment. Then you grab the camera section, and you want to make sure you have plenty of operating room too, with people not standing around. It makes life a lot easier. Again, the fastener, finger tight, and grab your appropriate Allen wrench that's provided, and give it a good snug, like so. Both of these. Now, some fellas will only put one fastener in and just slide this section on, and they feel as though when the drive cable is on, both these sections are then under compression, which is true, but nothing like safety. No shortcuts. Next, we want to install the camera platform. And again, as discussed in the bits and pieces segment, it comes with 2 precision bearings, a carrier bolt, and of course a 304 stainless camera platform. Simple procedure. Install one of the bearings, the shoulder out, of course, it won't go in any other way. Carrier bolt, and finger tight. And I forgot my Allen wrench. That's the biggest one. These are steel alloy. And when you tighten this up, you don't want to give too much side torque on the bearings. Make sure it just has enough slack so the camera platform swings easily. Next, you're going to find a little thumb nut, and there's a machine drilled and tapped 1/4 hole on this side, and you'll see this little scuff plate here. This actually serves 2 purposes. One, it offers a little drag when you're booming up and down for just a little more infinite control over the boom up and down on the jib. If the jib is perfectly trimmed fore and aft, then this actually emulates a brake. You can snug it down and it will hold the jib in that position. There is no brake or adjustment on the horizontal, strictly on the vertical on this guy. Next is the drive lever grip. Aluminum billet, And as mentioned before, it's foam cover just for a little more comfort for the operator. These incremental holes that I had mentioned in the bits and pieces segment serve a couple of purposes. One is that you can elevate this grip up and down for your liking, a little closer to the fulcrum point or a little further away. I've always liked it kind of further away. Again, it comes with the steel alloy fastener, and simply spin it on. And it's always a good idea just to give it a little tweak in terms of torque on it to lock things down so it's not going to come apart. Next, you're just about there. And I'd like to cover this first before we go on to the internal trim. But all the standard jibs, without any of the accessories, comes with this 1 pound external steel weight. And this allows you, when you get your weight bar on and weights on and camera on, and you get the bulk of the weights on, this allows infinite or final trim, whether it be camera heavy or camera light. As of this moment, I'd like to introduce you to an option, and this is the internal trim bar. Now you're going to see it has a tapered slot in it. It gives you about 5 1/4 inches of travel, and it just allows you to trim the jib internally instead of externally. Now it comes with a thumb nut, and I might add that all the jibs that I produce come ready to accommodate this. So 6 months or a year down the road, say you want to add this to it, it's there and available. What this allows, of course, is when you've got weights on and it's jibbed all the way up, the tapered slot won't allow it to come out any further. You back off of the thumb nut, you can pull it out a little further until you've got the trim unit, and it merely slides back and forth until you achieve that trim. The weight bar comes with stainless fastener and always goes on the left side. I might add too that this is a left or right-handed jib. You can set it up any way you like. I'm right-handed, so of course it's going to get set up this way. Again, you want to make sure it's snugged up a bit. And this is important so this guy doesn't come off. And it also comes with, just for general purpose today, I'll just throw a little weight on here. And like I mentioned before, that BFCO and BMI are the 2 brands that I recommend. It can be found at most of your favorite sporting goods stores. And they hold true dimensions, not only to their weight, but the inside dimension on the weight itself, which is 1 1/8 inches. The bar is 1 1/16 inches. And of course the lock ring. So once in place, that gets tightened down via an Allen wrench. Boom, you're off and running. Drive cable. I normally just take the cable like so and let it flail out. Gets most of the kinks out of it, hopefully. It's really a simple procedure. Take the turnbuckle and slide it under the jib through the vector head. Give yourself plenty of slack and bring it up over the drive lever sheave. Tuck it in a little bit and then just kind of let this hang limp like so. Take the dead end. As you can see, we got a few buggers in it. Anyway, lay this under the camera platform, around that sheave on the platform, and give it a little tuck in like so. Bring the eye end of the cable up, hook it into the hook on the turnbuckle, tighten it up. Just whatever your liking is. It's not going to slip if you get it good and snug. And yeah, that's plenty. Take the jam nut. That just kind of helps it from backing off. And bingo, you're just about ready to go. Anyway, if I can help you with setup or even pick a jib, I'd be delighted to do so. Don't hesitate to call. I might add too that over the years I haven't raised the cost of the Skycrane, not a penny. I have actually introduced new models that are of course more expensive than the basic 8-footer. But anyway, delighted to help you out any way I can. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to give me a call.